What's up, YouTube? NICMOR back at it again. Today I'm going to show you just my approach on how I lay out a new song idea relatively quickly. Sometimes you can get kind of stuck in a loop, when you're starting something new, where you might lay out a melody and then not know what to do with it, or you might lay out some kind of new beat and then not know what to do with it, and you're just sitting there looking at like a 4 or 8 bar loop or 16 bar loop or whatever. So I kind of wanted to go through relatively quickly how I do this. I'm just going to kind of show you what I do. It's not always the same every time, obviously, so like maybe right now I'll try to make a beat first, and that'll maybe dictate how everything else might go. Other times I might go get on my keyboard over there and try to either recreate something in my head that I've already been hearing, or I'll just mess around and do something out of the blue and see what happens. So first, you gotta lay out the basics. So of course, like the main idea. So sometimes I might be in the shower and get like a melody in my head, or maybe an entire beat, but it's just 4 or 8 bars long, in my head, and I'll run up here and try to lay something out as fast as I can. So with that being said, like I might not even worry about changing these samples yet. So it's kind of everybody has their different approach, but I remember I was reading about NICMOR. He said that when he first lays out his songs, it's all just MIDI notes. Like he doesn't even worry about picking the right sounds or all that stuff. It's basically just a song that's laid out in the most basic way possible, and then he goes through and swaps all that stuff out. So in this case, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what kind of beat I want to make. I guess just something simple. I kind of want to do a slow electro, maybe deep house. I don't know. Maybe something in between electro and deep house, or I kind of like trying to mesh genres together usually. So since this is like a super basic thing, I'm just gonna copy and paste it over and over, and maybe have a clap too at the same time or something. So obviously that's really simple, and then I'm going to listen to it and decide what kind of BPM the beat should be in. I have it in my head, but I'm not exactly sure what it is here. It's way too fast, so I'm going to do like 105. Yeah, I like that. And then now that I'm already decided I want to have that kind of beat, I'm going to just pick some kind of better kick and snare. Maybe not the ones I'll be done with later on, but just something to not annoy me when I'm trying to work on it. I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but I go to these industry standard drum library kicks a lot. This is a huge pack called Producer's Choice Everything Bundle. I bought it around Christmas because there was a really big discount. And I like all of them, almost all of them, but I find myself going to this one a lot for just initial sounds, because they're usually pretty high quality and a good start. That kick's just not going to do it for me. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. And this clap has just way too much going on, so I'm going to throw an EQ, do the 40 hertz, 18 hertz cut, take everything, pretty much around low, mid, and lower, I cut out of claps and stuff. And then maybe just a little bit of reverb. This is pretty much my go-to thing when I first start laying something out is laying out the initial idea or groove, making quick cuts and effects. I always want some reverb, and I always want to do some EQing. So I kind of call that mixing as you go, but I wouldn't say it's like a full mixing session. You should still come back when you're done with everything and then worry about mixing it down perfectly. So that's better, but I don't really like that sample. That's way too much decay. Alright, let's fix that. I know it might seem like I'm like obsessed with very small details right now, but I feel like if you get that right in the very beginning, then you'll be more willing to keep going through it and doing more with it. So I'm kind of getting like, I don't know, kind of trancey vibes, like deep. Remember I said deep house electro, maybe kind of trance thrown in there too a little bit. So usually once I get the first main groove, like there's every song has a main groove usually, unless you have a song that changes up and shit. So once I get the main groove going, I usually just start copying and pasting those chunks of the basses. I know for the most part, like this is probably gonna keep going for, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 8 total. But I'll keep it at this for now, and I'm counting the large bars that keep changing colors back and forth. So 4 of those total, I think would be a good little decent amount for an intro. It's about 40 seconds. And then maybe it stops and something happens with the melody, or it starts building up to something more, and then that'll go for another 4, and then the main part starts here probably. So before I start going that far though, I feel like I need to hear something melodic coming in slowly right here in the beginning. So I'm just going to use something real simple, probably Nexus. You know, it's easy, it's got trancey sounds in it. I just want something chill and deep sounding, kind of coming in slowly. And I already have the note in my head. Duh. I like the way that sounds. So I'm just kind of making up what I feel like it should do right now. And then the next thing I do when I start building that first whatever, this is a really fast thing I figured out to do is, I figured out it's just something I didn't used to do that I do now, the last year or two. That's really fast. But basically, if I'm going to be making a variation of the same part, then I'll click the current one, click again, and it clones it. And then I'll click the top left corner of it and make unique. And now it's a new pattern of the same pattern. So I can do something else to this and it won't affect the first one anymore. But it keeps, what was there already, so I can kind of just make a variation without messing things up. And it's basically just a quick way of trying to lay a structure and idea out without losing what you're doing. So I'm going to start back on this note again. I want to make something really cool that is kind of unconventional, so I'm going to see what I can do. I am by no means a super skilled, songwriter, or I don't really know what you call them, but people who are very good at working with melodies. And I like to think I have a general understanding of it, but I'm trying to get more creative and experimental when it comes to melodies. I've stuck too much to the standard stuff, so. Can't tell if that note's not working there. Seems like it is. This might not even be like a trancey deep house song I was saying. I don't know. You know, it might turn into something totally different. But let's see here. See what it sounds like. Something weird is happening here. Why is it starting off on the clap? I don't know how that happened. Might as well just make this one on the normal structure. Yeah, this just needs to be on the normal structure. There's no reason to make this weird. So, oops. I had it on this weird grid setting, and now everything's like slightly misaligned. It's annoying. Kind of makes it sound authentic, I guess. Now I know how I want the bass line to sound by just listening to this a little bit now. Make a new folder, save what I am doing right now. Name something stupid, you know, just to get it out. This one should start. Now, another thing I keep doing as I'm working on it, and laying it out as I keep doing save as new version. Just out of habit, like every time I start working on it, if it's been like 5 minutes, I'll do that. I think FL Studio does save automatically, or you can turn that on. But I like the luxury of being able to just go back to certain points of when I radically change something or whatever. I just like being in control of doing that over and over. So that's just something I do as well. So that I've seen multiple people where they get a cool idea out and then they start messing with it a bunch, and then it gets to the point where it no longer sounds cool anymore, and then they get discouraged and just close it because they never saved it or anything, and then it's like, damn it, why didn't you just save it a few times as different versions? And then, because if I didn't do that, yeah, I'd get discouraged too. But the fact that I do that helps me go back if I end up doing some dumb change that ruins the whole thing. So yeah, now that I have this little part laid out, I'm going to try to see if I can add a little bass line. And I'm not worried about the structure right now. I'm kind of just laying out the idea, and then I'm going to sort things around to more of a logical structure. So I kind of know what I want the bass line to sound like. And right now it's just going to be a simple housey, deep housey thing. So I'm cloning the Nexus, and I'm just going to pick one of those other bassy sounds for now. I'll worry about the details on that later. It just needs to be like the idea. So I know the note is G. Don't really like that sound though. Just listen to some sounds. Ew. Kinda like that. Hey buddy.
Good.
Oh well, thank you. Chalk. Dad is making a YouTube video. Oh, careful.
A phone.
Careful.
Make.
Yeah, make it music. Alright. I'll pause this and go back to it. I don't like this sound enough. Needs to be better. Plug it in. Oh! Yummy, I got a hair in that. Thanks, buddy. It's not your fault. Alright. It needs to be a piano or something. Hair?
Sit.
Sit. Look out. Come here. Where's the plug? I'm working on a piano. Yeah. Sometimes they have. There we go. Ooh, that sounds good. This just has way too much bass in it. So now I know I want to repeat this. Hey, I'm back. Had to cut it short on the first recording, so I had to split this into two. So, picking up from where we left off, the only things that I added in between recording basically was I added a new harder kick halfway through the beginning. So, first it starts with this kick, and then as it starts to get more interesting, I switch it to this kick, which just is a way more of a dance kick. On top of that, I added this arpeggiator, and I automate it. And then I added in these pads here and these violins. Basically just cloned the main piano song that I have in the beginning, and then just changed the instruments on them using Contact, which is really good at making like pianos, violins. It just sounds really realistic. So I used some orchestral elements and a pad, I think, in Nexus. Here's the orchestra. So I added that, and then I started to add a part for the breakdown, basically the intro build up to the main part. And this one I once again I cloned the same pattern, and then I chose a pad, Lamy, I don't know, in Nexus, in a pack that I purchased around Christmas. And I automated some of those perimeters. That's the only changes I've made to this in between recording. But I stopped myself from working on it because I knew I needed to record it the next day while I'm working on it. So I'm going to play what we have so far. Basically, I'd say I'm about halfway through right now, a little less than halfway through in terms of getting the main idea and song structure laid out, and I like it, so I'm going to keep working on it. So I'm just showing you how I do it, and well, one of the ways I do it. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. So let me play what we have so far, and then we'll just pick up where we left off. sounds pretty good. I mean, I like it. I mean, yeah, for less than an hour's worth of work, 1 hour and 8 minutes. I'd say it sounds pretty good. And yeah, it sounds a little dead mousy, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I love dead mouse, especially his older kind of trancey stuff. So anyway, picking up where I left off. So basically, I have the intro here, which is about a minute long. It's 2 seconds longer than a minute. So I'd say that's a great intro. A minute long is a great way to bring people into the song, especially when it's like a trancey song like this, kind of a little bit longer. If I was doing more of a poppy song or like just some banger dubstep song that, just was straight to the point, I might cut the intro in half, make it 30 seconds or something around there. But for this, I want to set the mood, and it's more of a trancey song, so I'm gonna let it have that kind of intro. And deadmau5 would have songs that were 7 to 10 minutes long. I just don't have the attention span to create a song that long. I could make club edits of them, if I want. If they got big or something, maybe I make a club edit or something. But so I'm gonna just continue working on this, and I'll kind of narrate as I go. So at this point, I'm going to work on this little breakdown and turn it into a build-up into the kind of the main part, which I don't know what it's going to be yet. It might just kind of be like these arpeggiators with maybe some new synth or something else going on that's a little bit interesting, and it builds on top of everything else. So I know I want to copy and paste these because it just makes sense. This is the automation for the pads, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to bring it back down here. And then, probably just do the same thing again. Might change it as I add this music to it, but I know I probably want to do something like that. And I want to add in the arps after the first time it does that. So let's see here. So, just from working on this and making that do that right there, and now I added the kick here for the drop. I kind of have in my head a kind of a deep housey, cut off, turned down, low cut, turned down synth, where it's just like, wow, like, I don't know, it just sounds cool, kind of far away, but it still has some bass in it, and it'd be a nice contrast from what just built up, with that really plucky arp. Not really sure what kind of sound I would use for that, but just gonna go through what I have and see if anything matches it. If I can't find anything that kind of matches it in my head, then that's when I start trying to make my own sound. Usually when I make my own sounds, I use Massive or CRM or a couple other synths. I usually try to make my own sounds, and I used to try to do FM8, but I don't know, man. That one's intimidating to me. Um, Harmer sometimes I would try to. Um, there's there's one more that I used to use a lot. Citrus I've made some sounds in. I can't remember what it is right now. Yeah, I don't know. I had one other one that used to be my go-to. Might have been Zeta plus 2. I don't really use it a whole lot anymore, but I used to. But let me see if I can find anything that kind of matches that. I know what the notes are, so. So I'm going to add a sidechain to that. One has a peak controller. So this should have a connection to it. Alright, so I got the little part laid out, but that's not the sound I was going for, so. You can do a sliding nexus. I'm so stupid. You just have to go turn it on, but I gotta find the sound first. Stupid, man. Yes! That's exactly the sound I was looking for. Alright, somewhere in here. Oh, where did I do it last time? Oh, Portamental. Yes, it does Douglas file. Why is it doing that? It's like restarting or something. This is weird. It shouldn't be restarting. Yes. Sausage fattener. Alright, so I now have my intro, my calm down / build up part, and my quote unquote drop. Yes, it's very simple, and yes, it's not done, but that doesn't matter. It's just about getting the idea out, like I said. So, all the details, all the extra parts, all the automations, besides the ones I already have here, they can all come later. What I might do is maybe just add a couple more sounds to this build-up part so it's not so boring. Excuse me. Jesus, no. That sounds really weird. Right now I don't care though. It's a placeholder. I just know it needs to be there. this should be in here, but just very quiet. Way down here. So now I have, let's see, I have 3 minutes of song already, and I feel like that's half the song. So this song might actually be a 7-minute, 8-minute song, like I was saying earlier, like how Deadmau5 does. If I stick to the structure that I was planning on sticking to. Now, when I look at it like this, you zoom out and you look at what you have so far, and it's about halfway through the song. You can make a decision at that point based on the genre or whatever you're trying to do. I could just not, this could be just that kind of song where it's got the long intro, the cool breakdown, the build up, the drop, and then maybe there's just a cool long outro too, and that's it. Maybe it doesn't need to repeat another drop or something. It just all depends on what kind of song it is, I feel like. So what I would normally do, if it wasn't already at 3 minutes or so, is I would literally just copy and paste this. Because now I have my intro, my calm part and build up, my drop, and then it basically starts over. Because if you listen to a lot of songs, that's what they do, except they change things up on the second time. So here's what it sounds like. It's just literally just copying and pasting it. So the difference being, I probably wouldn't bother doing that whole intro again, obviously. So maybe I would delete all these because that's already been heard anyway. And then, this starts over, but something new happens, or it just, you kind of just spice up what you already have there. I mean, as long as you got the substance there and the idea, I feel like that's the most important part. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really decided exactly what I would do yet, but I think honestly with this, I wouldn't bother doing the whole entire thing again. So I'd probably just create a really cool outro after all that. Yeah, I like how it stops and goes back to the piano again. bass line to be more simplified. Could have just done that, I guess. Alright, so there's an extremely basic, quickly laid out new song. I spent an hour and basically an hour and 45 minutes on it. I'm going to play it start to finish, and then I'm going to call this tutorial or lesson or tips or whatever you want to call it done. I might go back and work on this some more and try to finish it and everything, but let's just hear what we have now in this very short amount of time. Holy shit. Sorry about that. Can't do that. Doesn't go with the main part. there you have it, a 4 minute and 20-second long song laid out in under 2 hours. So I hope this tutorial or production video helped you. I know it's not always this simple or this type of structure for every song. I mean, you can make a song with whatever structure that you want. But I'm just showing how I usually do it because I tend to like songs with these kind of structures, and it's kind of my approach to trying to lay something out fast. So yeah, next month, every second Friday of the month, I will have another video like this. So if you have any requests or comments or suggestions, let me know in the YouTube comments, and I will let you know. I will get back to you if I can. So if you have any ideas of things you want me to show you how I do, or want me to get some tips on something that you've heard me do in one of my songs but you're not sure how I did it or whatever, just let me know and I'll get back to you, and I'll catch you on the next one.